to another episode of Digital Discourse. I'm working on my intro. I gotta get something together. Today we have Shayla. How you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing pretty good. Happy to see you. Haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah.
How's life been? I see you doing the mom thing on the internet.
Life's been great. Life has been really good.
That's good. That's good. Um, I see you heavy into the whole, TikTok and kid challenges. Let's get into that. What do you enjoy? What do you enjoy most about being a mom?
Um, that's a good question. I think just like the day to day, just I don't think it's one thing in particular that I like more than another. I think it's just having someone to come home to, just having people to depend on you and just like show you that affection. It's different coming from something that you birthed than just like another human being.
So just like the feeling.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, that's a solid answer. Um, what do your kids do to make you the proudest?
be themselves. Like my kids are funny. Like they're very outgoing. Just seeing yourself and your kids like in certain situations, how they react or how they would just naturally respond. It's like, damn, that's something that I would say, or like that's something that I would do. It's just like seeing yourself in them. It's like really cool.
Okay, that's a nice perspective, honestly. Because
Yeah.
I guess they are kind of little yous.
Hmm.
Okay, that's actually cool. I can't wait to see what that feels like. That's nice.
Yeah.
You're a single mom.
Yes.
Okay, let's get into that. You were
I was married
okay.
for 4 years. Got divorced in 20. We separated in 22. Got officially divorced in 23. So.
Okay, if you don't mind sharing, what led to that?
Um, we just kind of grew in different paths. So we met as teenagers, um, kind of on and off for a while. We got pregnant with my son. Um, Obviously, having a kid causes you to either grow up and, obviously we tried to settle down, I think. But as we got older into our careers, we realized like we were just going down two separate paths. Like we had different visions for ourselves. And it just wasn't working how it was, 10 years back.
What was the main fundamental difference?
I feel like he lacked that drive and that passion. Like we just didn't match each other's like level of like, hey, I want to go out. I want certain things in life. Like this is what I want. And I feel like he had the same goals in his head, but he couldn't execute at the pace that I was. And we were just always on different levels. And I felt like towards the end, like I really just had a moment with myself like, Shayla, you're young. Either you can stick this out for the kids and just not feel fulfilled, or you can leave and find what you feel like you really deserve. And that's just what it was.
Oh damn! So you called it off.
Yes.
Damn. Okay. It's crazy that I just always assume that the man did something, but I guess you just found that strength.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. It was finding that strength. And it's hard. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you have kids with this person, you've been with this person, you don't really know anything else. Like, I grew up with him. Like, I became an adult with him. So it was hard, but I also knew that I deserved better. Like, I deserved somebody that could understand all of me and not pieces of me.
Okay, that's fairly new, but do you feel like you made the right decision?
Yes.
Okay, that was quick. Okay, so do you feel like you can't make, based on how you said that, I'm under the impression that this guy just didn't really have ambition. He hit a
Correct.
plateau and he was cool with where he was at.
Correct.
So do you feel like you can date a man without ambition?
No. I learned from that. I'm not going to go into something else when I could have just stayed there.
Why you feel like you need that?
Because because of the person that I am. I'm not a very complacent person. Like when I think of a goal, like I'm going to do what I need to do to reach it. Like, and I need somebody that's going to like have that same passion and that same drive for their goals. Because I feel like you are the company you keep. And if I'm around somebody that is complacent or just content with where they are in life, that's going to cause me to think that way. And I don't ever want to be complacent until I get to where I want to be. And I'm sure by the time I get to where I want to be, I'll just set new goals. So it's like I always want to grow. I always want to evolve as a person. And I need somebody that's going to match that energy. And like we can motivate each other to get there.
Okay, well put. That's sexy. That's good. All right. Okay, next question. Since you sound like you really about your business and going after what you want, do you ever struggle with confidence?
Um, Not really, cause I feel like confidence. Me, I don't really care what people think of me because you don't pay my bills, you don't take care of my like if you can directly affect my job or my kids or my family, then maybe I'll take your opinion into consideration. But if you don't do any of that, your opinion doesn't validate anything about like it's not going to move anything that I do. So,
Okay,
like,
straight up. Do you ever feel self doubt?
some I don't know if I would say self-doubt. Sometimes I do get distracted or I do things that's like not in the best interest of what I want in life or might deter me from what my goals are. And I do like beat myself up about like, hey, you got a plan. This is what your plan is. This deroutes you from the plan that the path that you're trying to go down. So I might be hard on myself, but self-doubt, no, because I know I can do it. Like if I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, all right, big dog. I feel you. Um, okay. Let me see.
This is not that bad.
Nah, and you killing it. You talking real bold. I like it though. Okay. As a woman, what's the number one pressure that you deal with now?
Like in life or like
In general, if you had to take one thing out of your life that was bothering you, and you could fix that issue today with a snap of a finger, or maybe like even like a pressure, like something you feel like you gotta get done, something that's just on your mind.
What do you mean something that I have to get done?
Like just any like pressure can come from so many different ways. So it could be like something you feel like a status you feel like you have to uphold, or you pushing yourself to go do something and you got to get that done, or you feel like there's something on your back just always and you can't get around it. Like my number one pressure is figuring out how to make my income separate from the work space. Like I really feel like an immense amount of something on me to get that done.
I think just like how can I like provide a better life for my kids? Like maybe is a pressure I would say I would have like as many accomplishments as I have, like my main focus in life is like how can I provide the best life for my kids? And it's hard when you are a single parent, like because it's just you doing it. Like I don't have like a two parent household to just provide. Obviously I'm in a place financially where I can support my kids, but I always just think of better ways that I can be a better person so I can provide more so they can just be set. Like,
Okay, is the father present?
yeah.
Okay, you kind of alluding to certain things the way you answer the question, so I'm unsure.
Yeah, we have joint custody of our kids.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. I've always imagined if I split with a woman that I would want full custody, and that's probably impossible to do. I just don't want to ever be the weekend parent. I want to be the weekday parent.
So we have 50-50 custody, so we have equal amount of days. I never want to keep, even though we didn't work out and we may not see eye to eye on things, like I never want to be the parent that would keep your kids away from you unless I felt like you were unfit.
Okay.
So we do have joint custody, but financially we do not share 50-50 because we don't split our kids financially how we do physically. I'll just say that.
Okay. All right. We don't gotta go deep into that. your dating life. Now that
Okay.
you're a single mother of two,
Yeah.
previously divorced.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take that last part out. But how have you? How does that affect you?
Um, from a man's perspective, it doesn't affect like I mean, people still wanna like I thought like having kids like it would deter people from wanting to like talk to me because it's like baggage. Like I look at kids without you being with the father as baggage. It just is what it is. But I've learned that men don't look at it like that. I think I definitely struggled in the beginning because I used to like explain it like I'm like a mummy that was like wrapped up for 10 years. Like my whole 20s, I was locked down and I come back at the back end of my 20s single and it's like I don't know what this dating world is like. You know, it was very different for me. And I would just hear things like outside is trash, like it's pee and like so I would hear all these things. So I will say like I definitely am guarded. I'm also in a way different place in my life now than I was when I first was like dating as a teenager. Like I didn't have anything. Like I have stuff now to lose. So I know that I have to move different, not just for my kids, but for my assets.
Okay. Do you have you noticed like a fundamental difference in the dating pool between then and now?
I don't know if I know a difference in the dating pool. I know a difference in like my values and what I look for in a person now versus back then.
Okay. This is a little more serious now, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm not a serial dater. I'm not a person that is just like going to date. Like when I look at someone, like I'm looking at okay, before I even go out with you, I'm like, okay, what not necessarily what he can bring to the table because I bring the tables to the table, so that's not an issue. It's
Okay.
just
Okay.
so it's just more so what can he match what I can bring? Like I need a man to have something because I have something. Like in that sense, like I can't just I'm not dealing with anyone, so I'm not giving just anyone my time. Like
So you couldn't date down financially?
no.
And what if, but what if he's working, like he has that ambition you're looking for and he's working towards something, he just ain't there yet?
Then possibly yes.
Okay.
So like I'm not looking at a dollar amount like bring me your pay stub.
That's what it sounds like.
No, but you but to an extent I live a certain lifestyle. And not that I need you to fund my lifestyle, but I need you to match it. Like if I want to do certain things, you need to like, hey, this time I might pay, but next time, you know, you pay, you need to be able to afford to pay it. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Because
No,
I
that's good.
can.
No,
Like,
that's fine. I'm fine with people having standards.
yeah.
So I don't think that's crazy. I'm
Yeah.
just asking questions. Okay. All right. Because that is a topic that's been coming up.
Like, I don't think money is the number one factor, but it is important. Like, let's be real. Like, I'm not looking for a man to fund my lifestyle. Like, let's be clear there. Like, I don't need anything that I do for myself or my kids, I can do myself. And I'm not looking for you to, like, you know, pay for that, but I do need you to, like, be financially stable in your own way.
No, that's fine. Stability is probably my number one focus.
Yeah.
So I think it is very important. Okay. Moving on from that. What are your favorite self-care practices?
I'm very big on self-care. So I do a lot. Like I have like my normal waxes with my wax lady. Like we are like friends. Like we like I have like my routine. I get my nails done my nails feet, every 2 weeks. Like I'm very big on self-maintenance. I feel like when you look good, you feel good. So you like appearance is very important to me. So I do my facials. I'm very big on like baths. Like when I'm stressed, like how people might like drink coffee. Like I don't drink coffee. I take a bath. Like I will take a bath in the middle of the day.
Okay.
If I'm stressed, like I will take a bath.
Okay.
So
That sounds like a cool ass stress relief, honestly.
yeah.
It's a lot. What's one thing you wish you had known when you were younger that you know now?
Don't rush. Don't rush into life. Like I feel like I was very structured. I just knew what I wanted in life. I knew by this age I wanted this and that, and I hit it. Like I wanted to be a doctor. I became a doctor. I wanted kids. I had my kids young. Like, I wanted all of that, but I realized because I was such in a rush to get it, I did it with the first person that would give it to me and not the person that was meant for me. And on the back end, I had it, but it's like, was it worth it? Because I mean, yes, I would never take my kids back, but it's like, if I would have just thought through it a little bit more and chose a partner that matched me and not just a partner that was available to give me that attention, um, maybe I would still have like a two-parent household for my kids.
Do you feel like you just did what you thought you were supposed to do
Yes.
instead of evaluating what your wants really were?
Yes.
100%.
I wanted, like, society is like get married, have kids, big house, white picket fence, and that's what I had. And then once I got there and I was like at the peak, I was like, this isn't what I want. Like, it doesn't make me happy, and I'm not happy. Um, like, I have everything. Like, literally on the outside looking in, I had everything, and it was like, but I was not happy, so it wasn't worth it.
Okay, I feel that. I mean, that's real. I feel it. So, since you're the one who ended things once you approached him with that, and I'm assuming you kept it 100 about why you didn't want to be a part of it. How did he take that?
I wasn't the honest.
Okay. Okay. Well, never mind.
But so I will say I did definitely give like certain things leading up to it that, like, hey, this is not working for me. We tried to go through counseling. It just was not working. Like, but it wasn't working for a while. But he took it horrible, how I expected him to. So.
Okay. All right. We'll leave that there. I don't want to get too personal. Keeping this general. When it comes to female conflicts, when I talk to women, they kind of, the females I know or the women I know, they lie to their friends a lot because they just say, friendship politics. I don't want to mess up this relationship. How do you handle it? If you got a girl, you got to have a difficult conversation. You got to tell her about herself. How you go about that? And you got to tell her something that you know gonna hurt her feelings.
I'm gonna tell her. I'm a firm believer. So I don't have a lot of female friends because I feel like females just have a lot of emotion and there's a lot of maintenance to have a female friendship. If I can't be transparent, authentic with you, and you can receive it that I'm being genuine, I'm not trying to be catty or just anything, then you're not a friend for me. That's not a relationship that's gonna work. I feel like in your job, just in other parts of your life, you always have to filter what you say and how you say it. So I feel like when it comes to my friendships, I shouldn't have to do that. And if I have to, then you're just not a friend for me. So my friends, I'm very transparent with them. I don't lie. Especially like my best friend, like she knows probably everything. Like, if I die, she could write the Lifetime movie about me. Like, she knows. So
Okay. Have you had a falling out with any of your close friends?
every now and again. But falling outs for me is not like, I feel like a falling out, like people will disagree on certain things, but you learn how to navigate those disagreements and learn how to agree to disagree.
When I say fallout, I'm saying somebody you were really close to and now y'all don't speak anymore.
As an adult, no.
Okay. Good. I don't wish that on people.
Yeah.
Okay. In your work life, do you have difficult or like bad coworkers, toxic coworkers?
Well, I'm like the toxic coworker cleaner. Like, being HR, like, people aren't difficult with me. They're not going to be difficult with me because like their job is like
Okay.
in my hands. So
Okay. Can you share without going into detail, like a situation that had to come to HR that was kind of a crazy work situation?
I get it all. Like, fights, sexual harassment. Like, I get it all. Um,
Give me a harassment story.
okay. So I work in a predominantly male industry. So when females come in, it's like they just gravitate to females. So I get a lot of instances where like an attractive female will come into the workplace and men say like inappropriate stuff to them where it makes them feel uncomfortable. We've had where they've like sexually assaulted them in a parking lot before.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I mean it goes there, especially when you get alcohol involved. Like I've had where a lead like managers have like sexually assaulted, employees, and they've come to me like, so I'm a very fair person, but I also like want females to feel heard. So it's like I do take those serious. Like, so usually, I handle that pretty aggressively.
Okay. So you have a doctorate degree
Yes.
in what?
Psychology.
So why didn't you get into, I guess, become a psychiatrist or a therapist or something?
Because they don't make money. So I used to want to be like the psychologist that sat on the couch and talked to people, but they, by the time you finish your schooling, you don't make a lot of money. So I ended up going into IO psychology, which is basically the study of human behavior in the workplace. And I used that to get into HR. And IO psychology is the highest paid psychology there is.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
Do you feel like all of that schooling was worth it?
Based on my salary, yeah.
Oh, so that degree still got you to where you are?
Yeah.
Okay, just not the specific
Yeah.
therapist role.
I still deal with people's problems. It's just in a different environment. It's at work instead of like your baby mama, baby daddy drama.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, doctor. I feel that. I could never do that. I didn't go to school, but that is that's
I
nice.
love school. I love to learn. So
No, that's nice. I think it's. I know there's a conversation about is college worth it and is it not, and I think it is depending on
depends on
your
what you
focus
want
is.
out of it. Yeah, you need to know what you're. So I'm the type, I look at my end goal and then I work my way backwards of how do I need to get there. A lot of people just live life day to day. Now, if you do that, then you roll the dice because you could make the right decision and get to where you might want to go, and you might not. But if you actually have a strategic plan about how to get there, you're more likely to be successful.
Ah, that's spot on. You killing these answers. You killing these answers. So you seem like a very structured, very strict. I know what I'm doing. I know how I want to get there. Mm-hmm. Are you that same way in motherhood? Or are you a little bit looser or what?
I'm like the complete opposite as a mom. Like I'm very easygoing, very I kind of like just sit back and let my kids like be themselves and see how they would react or just act in certain situations.
Okay. I see how you are with them on the internet. And you always letting them have large amounts of sugar. And me personally, I see how people react to that on the internet. Like, don't tell people how to feed their kids. But what's your take on that? Because I think, giving them snacks is crazy. Because, like, they don't even know about these things until you introduce them. So why not just keep them on a healthy path?
So when they were kids, I tried to like, make sure you have a certain amount of wheat, certain amount of, I tried that at first, but it's harder when you actually become a parent to like maintain certain diets when like you're working and like just trying to like balance life and motherhood and like being just working. So eventually I just kind of said, forget it. And also they see a lot of it at school. Like my son oftentimes is coming home, mommy, I want to try this, or mommy, I want to try this. So they're exposed to it once they leave out your front door. Like you can't shield them or like control certain things. So I realized like I just had to take a step back and say, you know what, if it's not going to kill them, I'm going to let them try it. Maybe I could do a better job of the consumption amount, but maybe one day I'll get there.
Okay, that was a real humane answer. We're not perfect, but you're aware. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Are you hands on in their schooling?
Very much.
Like know the teachers at the school.
Like text the teachers call me.
Yeah. Are there certain practices in the school that you don't approve of? Certain ways that they move?
Not at my son's age and in his school district, but I have heard of like certain school districts near me that do or allow certain things like once they get to middle school and stuff that make me raise an eyebrow or two.
Let's get into them. What are these things? I don't have this experience, so.
So I hear about it just like at my job because a lot of my coworkers' kids are older. Just like maybe allowing a kid to be a little too free, like certain things that I feel like they should not be exposed to in school. Like I think it is something that they should learn at home, like
what?
Sexual gender, pronouns.
So
Just the
they're doing that
identity.
in middle school.
Yeah, for sure.
So how does
Like, what do you want to be called versus what is your name? Um, yeah,
interesting? They doing that at middle school.
middle school,
Okay.
middle school.
And your coworkers are dealing with this.
Yeah,
Okay. That's scary to me.
very much so.
Yeah.
Especially when you leave it in the school's hands to teach that to your child.
Yeah. I see articles online and on podcasts where they get into this, and I think there's some kind of movement towards them not even having to tell the parents about the situation.
Yes.
That's real?
Yes. So that is actually how it came up. So me and my coworkers, we eat lunch together. So it's like we always have like a daily topic or something. Yes, they don't let you know as a parent. So they ask these children these questions, but they don't ask for permission from the parents at home. And I think that to an extent, like I send my child to school to learn about certain topics, not all topics in life. Certain topics, I feel like it should be a parent's job to teach your child, and your discretion when you want to expose them to it, not for a school to take it into their own hands.
No, I feel that 100%. And do any of your coworkers, I assume they share these same beliefs, have they attempted to say something to anybody? And if they did, what was their response, if you know?
I think the coworkers that it has affected, they just kind of go with it. They're not very like a disruptor. I will disrupt the whole school for my kids. Like, so, and that's just me being honest. Like, some people might be okay with that, but I'm not okay with that. I'm sure if you raise the concern, I'm sure they'll like not ask your child, but it's not going to stop them from asking the kids around them. So it's kind of like do I say something? Because it's not that my child is not going to still be exposed. They're still going to be exposed to it through other kids. But I think it's more so now that I'm aware of it, I will instill certain things into my kid so he knows how to respond to the question.
Okay. So does he have his own childlike perspective on the topic?
Not yet. I don't think he understands it fully.
Okay.
To have a perspective. He understands like male and female, but I don't know if he understands like homosexual or heterosexual or transgender. Like, I don't think he understands all those different levels.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. But do the middle school kids, the ones with your coworkers?
I mean, I'm assuming they have to know. So I think that when we were in school, I feel like we started to go through like sex ed in like 6th grade. But I feel like sex ed was learning about your body and learning about the other person's body.
And I had that in 9th grade.
I had it in 6th.
Okay.
So maybe my school just was a little.
Actually, you might be right. I might have had it in 6th grade.
Yeah, it was like coming right up. Because when I was in 6th grade was still elementary. Mm-hmm. So it had to have been that for you.
I think I had that. It was this white lady. But it was definitely about.
It was not about
anatomy.
Yeah, like we didn't. It wasn't as like. I don't know the word for it, but like gay, straight, like all of that was just not very like talked about when we were like in school. Yeah. Now it is so open. Like people are so open about it. So I feel like schools are trying to get ahead of it to make everyone of different identities feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. But I feel like there's a certain line. It's a very thin line that you have to tread when you come to that. Because some people, I just don't think it's a school's place to teach your child about identity.
No, I completely agree with that. And even if I understand making everybody comfortable, but I also think there's tiers of importance.
Yeah.
It's like, why am I teaching you this before I even taught you, how to count? Or,
facts.
Like what number is that on the top 10 things kids need to know?
Right.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I do want to know a perspective of a child and how they view that. So ask your coworkers. I truly want to know just on some personal shit.
Well, the coworker that has their child in the school district, their child is a little bit more fluent. Like they identify as bisexual, they have this thing where like kids wear tails and like they're like animals and they have like litter boxes and like it's a whole thing. Like
what?
So it's like this thing that go around like where they are like animal, like schools like are like open and like they have litter boxes in schools so they can like act like, and it's just a whole thing. So I'll say I work in Baltimore. So we're talking about a different district
Okay.
that that my kids go to school in. So it's definitely different.
So
Different.
so what's the hold on? So are they using like the identity? They using animals to try to teach them about the identity thing. Like I can be
No,
a
it's like
cat,
a
or I could.
thing that is like I don't know if it's like a trend that goes on and then they allow it to like transition into school and then kids to like so like like we had trends when we were in school. We used to wear certain things or do certain things
Yeah,
and
like
it was
Spirit Week.
accepted and not Spirit Week, but just like certain things we would so like remember we used to have like the bracelets and you pop the bracelet. Like it was like a thing. It was like a trend that people did and it was allowed in school.
Yeah.
Whereas it sounds like schools are more accommodating to the trends that are going on in society. But the trends are starting to get a little bit more like
Weird as
weird.
fuck. What the
Exactly.
fuck?
Because to bring a litter box into school is just insane to me.
Yeah,
Like it's
that's
very insane.
there's
But
there's a sexual term for that. I can't remember, but when you want to act like an animal or like a dog,
yeah.
like pup play is like the
And I think that they made
slang for it.
like accommodate it because the kids are looking at the innocence in it and not like what it could be perceived as. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't like it.
I don't either, but I'm not letting my child go to school with a tail in the litter box, but some people do.
All right, well, we can get off that topic.
Yeah.
I guess we can just close out. I'm curious what your dating life's like. You have you going on bad dates? Are they good dates? What's going on?
Um, I would say a little bit of both.
Give me a bad date, because I've never had a bad date. Tell me what happens on a bad date.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad date. It's just like I'm not going on a date with this person again.
But what would make that happen?
Just their personality, their vibe. Like if we don't click, like if you're too like my biggest turnoff is a man that moves too fast. Like that is like wanting to do certain things too soon. It's a red flag to me because it's like, oh my God, you gonna be in love with me next week? Like I don't need that. Like is you gonna be asking? Like I don't like that. I like to move at a certain pace, but it's also weird because I don't communicate with that paces. So it's like you just gotta be on my like vibe. Like you just gotta, I don't know. We just gotta be at the same frequency, and then we'll be great. And but if we're not, which usually is the time, like we're usually not on the same, then it's just not for me.
So using that in a first date context, what is too fast? Like trying to kiss you, trying to come over, trying to hold your hand, calling you babe.
Yes.
Okay.
Calling me babe, any of that on the first date is weird to me because you telling me you like me, you really like me on the first date is weird to me because you don't know me. I know that sounds very
A
weird.
little bit.
It sounds very weird, but that is actually probably one of the biggest turnoffs when a man says like I really like you, because I'm like, and that's usually my response. You don't know me, like you only like what I've shown you.
But
I
that's you, unless you pretending to be somebody else.
no, but I feel like you don't really know someone until you've been around them multiple times for them to form a pattern of certain things. So I feel like a first date is like an interview. You're going to show your best version, whether you mean to or not. You're not going to come looking busted without looking like something.
Sure.
So you're presenting your best version of yourself. So you don't really know a person until you've been with around them multiple times and they've shown you a consistent pattern of this is who they are. So you can't like someone until you know who they are, and you can't know someone after meeting them for the first time.
Definitely the second one. You can't know them that fast. The like thing is a point of view thing. But if you think that way, what's the max level of emotion you can express on day one?
Too much.
Yeah, like what can I say? Well, this was pretty medium. Like, can I see you again later? Like,
No,
what?
so like you can say like I enjoyed the date. You can say that you enjoyed the atmosphere, the vibe, but to say you like me, that's saying you like my character. You like the person that I am, but you don't know the person I am. Like,
But why are you so convinced that I have to know you to like you?
because you have to.
How? you liked the car you got right now. You liked it the first day you got it. You didn't know you didn't know anything
But
about
I
it.
did homework on it. So I'm
Oh,
not going to just go to the
yeah,
lot and
they're
like,
not.
oh, I like the way
You're
that
gonna put
looks.
your best foot forward on the internet. They're gonna tell you all the nice features. What are you saying?
So before I commit to something that is of value, whether it be a car or a person, I want to do my homework on them first. Like before I even open my mouth to give you a compliment or to speak anything, I'm going to be able to stand on what I say. And the only way I can stand on what I say or how I feel about you is that I have enough information. And when it comes to a person's personality, it has to be a pattern. For me, it has to be a pattern. Like, there's no other way to know a person other than a pattern. I need to see it over time. Like, time shows you everything.
I mean, it does, but I think the light thing is a little bit too much. Babe thing I get. Calling a girl babe, baby, first date.
I
Fully,
think for
I
me,
get
it's
that.
just like, I get cringy because then it's like, do you like me for me? Do you like for what you think you can get out of me? Do you know, like,
Isn't it
I
all
start to
connected?
question.
Why do you like the men that you like? Eventually, what you can get out of them is a factor. It's not off the table.
Yeah, but I'm just not a female that just brings a like a McDonald's number one meal to the
Sure.
table.
Yeah, but you
I
can like that what you got, and you can like what I got, and it's okay to acknowledge that. So you never went on a date with a man. You was like, damn, I really like him afterwards. I'm really feeling him. I think it's a semantics thing. Like you just
I
using
don't like
different
him.
words.
I like the time that we had.
And what in that time did you like?
His personality, the restaurant that he chose, the conversation that we had.
That,
But I could go on a second date or we could go home and he said something that just totally just wiped the whole date away.
so why at that point you could be like, okay, now I don't like you anymore? Why can't you
You move
the
too fast.
like
Okay,
don't
so
gotta be
perfect
permanent?
example. I had a really good date with this guy. Had fun. Like I like fun dates. Like I'm a fun person. Had a fun date. Really nice. Bought me flowers and just did what a girl want.
That's not cringy.
That was not because I thought it was sweet. It was the gesture.
Okay.
I'm more of an actions person. You can say whatever you want out your mouth, but you're gonna show me, show me. So I like the effort that was put into it. But then like after the date, he like asked like if you don't have your kids, would you be able to spend the night? That just threw me off. I was like, I could, but I'm not. Like, I don't know you. And after that it was like done. Like I'm very like I will clip you very
Damn.
fast.
Even if he just be like, okay, that's fine. I respect it. Well, it
Nah,
was
you
nice
shouldn't have
seeing you.
asked. Yeah, it was done after
Damn.
that.
You cutthroat. You too cutthroat. You gotta ease up.
I mean, when I like you though, I really like you. I'll give you like I think that is a flaw that I have. Like I either don't like you or I really do like you. Like, yeah.
Nah, I mean, you can have your own standards. I'm not
Yeah.
mad at you. I do think you're a little bit cutthroat, though. You might gotta ease it up a little bit.
I mean, would you rather be a little bit more easygoing and then waste your time with someone to find out that they were just not it in the first place? Or would you
I would recognize that I maybe have a pattern of just being too dismissive. Cause like somebody can say, I see a lot of women think they're gonna meet a guy and they're just gonna magically know how you want to be talked to, what you want to hear, what words to avoid, and it's so not real. So it's like if a person says one thing that you don't like, just tell him. If he corrects it, he's apologetic, wipe it clean. Like we don't know who we're talking to until you get certain words.
I think for me it's more of it tells me a little bit about you. Like so this might be very different coming from a female. Um I don't like a very emotional man. Like I'm not very good with emotion. I don't like I don't want an emotional man. I usually tend towards like nonchalant. Like and a lot of men are emotional these days. And I feel like when I get that, it gives me you're emotional. If we get into an argument, you're gonna want to like go out, like throw everything on the table and go back and forth. I'm not going back and forth with you, like. And so I think for me, I take it as okay. I think you're right. And maybe it is a little dismissive, but I think I take it as okay, he's going to be too emotional for me. So I'm going to just go ahead and cut this now before we get involved and he realizes how nonchalant I can be and he's really just going to have to throw a fit. Like,
I get that wholeheartedly. You just came from a situation, and the last thing you want to do is waste time.
For sure.
But that can get a little chaotic, and definitely make you miss out on opportunity. The dating pool is not that large. The type of men you seeking specifically, it's not that many, especially the ones that are willing to be monogamous.
Yeah.
So you might be doing yourself a disservice by just chopping niggas off so fast. But one thing you'll learn about the dating pool, since you haven't been in it, is impatience is the top thing. Nobody is patient anymore. Women want exactly what they want. They want to hear it. Everything. Guys, they want what they want fast, so they want to fuck the first night. Nobody's willing to wait anymore, and I don't know how to fix that.
Yeah. No, I agree for sure.
Well, that's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we can end it. It was nice talking to you. You want to close out anything?
Thank you for having me. I don't know. Closing comments.
Well, we are out of here.